Easy here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, hope you're all well. It is Thursday, and I've just been walking around the park right now. I didn't want to get too far from the house because we've been having rain and everything, and oh, look, there's the ducks that are over there and they're running after each other. Always a lot of fun watching them. Yeah. Oh, well, our visitors left on Sunday, and Sunday in the day, and yeah, it was interesting. What I say was interesting is that, well, the girl, or the lady, I should say, she wasn't a girl anymore. She's like 48, but she was 9 years old about when we left Canada, because we'll be. Is that true? Yeah, well, it'll be 40 years that we left Canada in May coming up. And so she was 9 years old then. So, I mean, we knew her as a little girl, but we didn't really know her as a woman. And, of course, we met a few times in the meantime, but you know how it is. I mean, like, here's the younger girl, and then there's the uncle and the aunt that are visiting. You say a few, like, polite words, and then they go off and play, and you're talking with the adults, or their brothers and sisters, or so on. So you don't end up actually talking all that much eventually with the nieces or the nephews. Well, a bit, but you know what I mean. So we didn't really know what to expect. It was great. Finally it was actually very intense. What's going on over there? Oh, they're fighting for food. Yeah. Somebody went and put some bread. I won't get into the details of putting bread for the ducks. I mean, you're not supposed to, because especially near a pond. Anyway, yeah. So it was interesting. I mean, because we discovered that we actually had a lot in common. Not only bloodlines, put it that way. So a lot of traveling, eating, drinking, and so on. And I had them go to Interlaken and do some hang gliding. Same type of stuff that I did with Tweetness and her husband 14 years ago. Yeah, 14 years ago. And so went over there. It was fun. It really was. And as to my doubts, I had said about a week ago, how would I organize my days, the rhythm of my days? Yes, they were perturbed. I mean, there was no doubt about it. I was getting up at my usual time. Excuse me. I was getting up at my usual time and trying to get through my usual activities. I just wasn't managing it. But, and things were different, And when I'd go to bed, I'd actually really be tired. I was talking with Mrs. DC, and I said, I can tell. I'm not happy to say this. I said, I can tell that I'm an older man now than I was a few years ago, which actually seems like a very self-evident thing. But you're out doing things that you did, many years ago, and you used to do like things many years ago and didn't have any consequence, or you felt it was easy, and now it's kind of hard. Yeah, we walked up to a waterfall in a place called Lauterbrunnen, and the walk up to the base of the waterfall was like really steep, and not at all even, and on stones and stuff like that. And I found it actually, it was difficult at points. And then once we got at the base of the waterfall, which was kind of a narrow waterfall, the wind changed. And the waterfall, which was basically going down straight or slightly on the other side, there was quite a bit of wind, a big wind change. And basically the waterfall, instead of being beside us, was right on us. And I don't mean a little bit. It was cold. I mean, this was like, I was going to say glacier water or something like that. And it had changed, and I got completely, but I mean completely drenched. Because, this waterfall is like really high. It's not very wide, but it's really high. And then just basically turned from the side it was onto, well, me and others, but onto us. Wow, I can tell you. Left, but you couldn't run off because now everything was stone and slippery, and steep. So yeah, you just had to know you were going to get wet, and we did. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's just one of the little adventures. I brought them around different places, went to microbreweries, and made a lot of meals with the Instant Pot and stuff like that, and barbecue. Basically just having a good time. It was like myself being on vacation, but here. So yeah, it was way better than I was. Well, was I going to say it was way better than I was expecting? It was better than I was expecting, in the sense is that yes, it disrupted my daily life. On the other hand, not in a negative way. And since the people were very pleasant, well, it was not a pain. I've got another cousin of mine who I have not seen now for, talking about this cousin, for probably 50 years. I'd say probably, and most probably 50 years. 50? Let me see. Yeah, I think that's about right, actually. And she wrote to me not too long ago saying that her granddaughter, because he had children really young, her granddaughter will be probably coming to Europe or Ireland or something like that, and might want to get in touch with me. And I thought, I can, tell her about things. But I was thinking, like, now this is really different, because, like, this is like many generations. And I sometimes think, like, okay, everybody's thinking all of a sudden at one point, we do have a distant relative who lives in Switzerland. Why don't we go and see them? I don't know. We'll see what that happens. But that is another order of difference, and I was going to say that it's not even a question of that it's my cousin's granddaughter. That's not the problem. But I mean, I don't even really know the cousin in this case. So, 2 generations further than the cousin could be great. Could be a really, really nice person. I'm not saying the contrary. And by the way, they're Americans. They're part of our American branch. I think they're in Kentucky. Not quite certain. I think it's Kentucky. Anyway, doesn't matter. I've been talking long enough. Just wanted to come over and chat a little bit before I go back home and do 1 or 2 things. And tomorrow I'm going to start my Spanish class again. Yeah, that's where my daily things really change. I wasn't able to do my Spanish classes because I was with them all the time. So I missed that. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll start that over tomorrow. Okay. Take care. I'll be off now. DC signing off, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.